Welcome back, Hive Minders, to another Round 5 commentary with your boy Sparky. I'm here with Victor this week. Victor, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be back.
Looks like we got an energy mirror. It's the eve of Halloween, and the two boogeymen of the format are on our screen. What's your opinion of what's going on right now, Vic?
I'm gonna give game one to Jeskai. I like the addition of the expressive iterations into the main. I think while it's not as intimidating of a card on its own, looking at three, being selective about what cards you get from that, I think that is probably what's going to allow Jackson to kind of break away, especially in those later turns.
Yeah, I like the innovation of the expressive iteration is like the only blue card sans like consigned to memory in the sideboard. Like it's just another advantage engine that you're getting, like another 2-for-1 that your deck can play, where you can get an extra land drop or an extra spell, and then a card in your hand. Some amount of selection and velocity into a deck that already has so much efficient creature and removal and all this stuff. It's the kitchen sink of decks in the current modern metagame. And it appears Tom's already won 2-0. Look at that.
I mean, listen, good for Tom. That's some fast gameplay. I can appreciate that. Certainly love to get to bed, but that's okay. We're here for some late night magic. That's what we signed up for.
Yeah, and he's on 6. It looks like he's throwing a land back. I see, being that it's my deck, I see Raptor, Ragavan, Ocelot, no, that's an Ajani and a Static Prison.
No, I think actually that was an Ocelot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that other white card's an Ajani then. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was Pride or Prison.
I mean, pretty good hand, especially on a 6 there. I mean, that's all your different engines.
Yeah,
I would have
and
liked
then
leading off with the Ragavan, but
I think that's fair. I do like the option of being able to just like slam this Ajani, and then if Jackson has a removal spell, he's got to use it on maybe the Pride right away.
yeah, but I think if Jackson has the removal, he's going to use it no matter what.
Ooh, interesting dash. Ooh, and Jackson hits the monkey. I don't hate it. I actually think it's
You have to hit the monkey. It's the best card in the mirror at that particular point in time.
there's so many
It hits.
one drops that he could hit off Jackson's deck where he gets like treasure token Guide of Souls and it's just a problem. But he left
I
himself
think
with
he drew Pride, so that would have literally hit treasure into Pride, which would have been
yeah.
absolutely backbreaking.
Oh yeah, 100%. Get 2 cats here. Have 4 cats in general, followed up by what looks like an Ajani in Tom's hand. Um, I think Jackson's going for the blue source here. I would guess Steam Vents just to have more red up.
He does have a lot of white, so I think that there is.
Oh, I think he's making a play. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think he's making a play at the Blood Moon.
Yeah, that is one thing that Tom does have above Jackson. So
Yeah, I do think those will come out in the sideboarding, but ooh, solid play. Jackson has a follow-up cat and a Ragavan. And I think
this is something that I found interesting when I was playing Energy for a little bit in the mirrors. It really does feel like sometimes it wasn't who had more threats, but who had more removal. And I really feel like that will come down to it. That's a pretty good hit off of an Amp Raptor.
oh, I mean, he could have flipped a One Ring there, and it would have been really sad.
I'm really good at doing that. So maybe that's why I hated the deck, but I could be wrong.
That's fair. I think that's just like the. I think sometimes you just have to take it as sometimes Amped Raptor is just Bloodbraid Elf that doesn't hit. But I think with the 1 energy, he only had 3 cards he couldn't hit with the 3 One Rings in the deck.
Yeah, those are pretty good odds at that point.
I'd gamble on that. Jackson with, I think that's Hollowed Fountain. Yeah. Not wanting to take any extra damage being
No, that's a
already.
meticulous archive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's surveilled.
Got it. Um, I like him conserving his life total a little bit. He's already kind of a little behind. Uh, it does not appear that Tom has hit his third land drop, but this could be
I mean, rarely are you ever going to find yourself needing more than two in a lot of situations. I mean, obviously
obviously for
the
the
flage,
flage. Yeah,
but with what he's got in hand, I really don't know if I'm too concerned about it.
like he has the lineup where he can just use the energy if he wants to. And then he has the combo if he just plays a creature, he gets more energy and can use the hub however he sees fit.
I mean, it looks like
But
Jackson has Static
Jackson
Field, Ocelot Pride, and then I
and a Johnny,
think
yeah.
that's
I
oh,
think
and
he just
Johnny.
drew the prison.
No, he's
Prison,
had
like
that one. I believe. I think he drew the Johnny, but I could be
okay.
wrong.
Ooh, Tom snaps off the block with his best creature. Interesting. Tom draws the land. Ooh, let's see if Jackson's got a call with the creature. Trading prisons back and forth to see who can keep the energy advantage. Ooh. I do like Tom's attack because like maybe he does or doesn't block there, I guess.
Yeah, I like what the thought process is because either way, you either get to eat the cat or you just get rid of the Johnny.
Hmm.
So I'm I'm on board with it.
Now if Jackson has a red source here, we're in trouble. He did not. But
No,
this
but
is the
this is
power.
where
Yeah.
where he gets to dig and just see. I believe that's going to be Arid Mesa, Flage, and bottom card.
Discharge.
Okay,
Yeah.
certainly
It's definitely a bunch.
nice three.
I mean I think he obviously is putting the land into exile here. And then probably keeping the discharge so he can interact with the Ajani at instant speed. Because he already has the Flage in the yard, right? Or no, Jackson doesn't have a Flage.
No, Jackson does not have a Flage. Tom does.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have been as disciplined to keep the discharge.
It's certainly a weird moment because you're at face value behind on board,
Mm-hmm.
and the Flage certainly helps you get back ahead.
Oh, I think okay. I think knowing that I had the cat, I didn't see the pride in Jackson's hand. Knowing I have a cat and a discharge, I probably keep the discharge. Um, and possibly because the fact that Tom was hellbent all out of cards, is he going to jam with everything? Oh, he's got a land. I would jam just to try and get more things in the bin to try and bring back this Flage. I think that's a winning scenario here.
I agree with that. I think I'm turning those two sideways.
At least the Nana Johnny cards, yeah. Oh, he's bringing the Ajani too.
All right, all right. Maybe I'm thinking of a
I'm
line that isn't apparent.
going for the gusto. I, he wants to keep his red permanent around in case he flips the
And a
Ajani.
zero. Okay, I can respect it.
I like that play from Jackson because you save an energy that way as opposed to having to spend 3 on the Ajani, especially with the static prison in play.
See, this is where in Moto I'd like
Oh, oh, wow! how to get back in a game 101. Flip
Yep.
good cards.
One thing of note for everyone at home before they type it in the comments, I don't believe Jackson paid for his Aether or Static Prison.
I
So
think
he
he
should.
did. I think he did at the beginning of his turn. So he had 3 energy. He went to 4, paid the 1 going to 3, went up to 5 with the Raptor.
Oh, maybe I did
I
my
could be
math
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah. As long as he
Talk about
puts.
an advantage swing either way. I mean,
Yeah, that's
for
pretty
the
big.
ring to pop at that opportune time. I mean, right
Yeah.
up there with the card you need. And ironically, for Jackson to hit it, less likely than Tom hitting it.
Yeah, Jackson
So
only has 2 rings in his deck. So that's definitely low percentage odds. I mean, it happens. That's why we play the game sometimes. Yeah. Just doing some double checks. I think as long as this is a card we don't want, we can get the Flage back. I think it's an arena. Do we have? Oh, we did have enough. Yeah, definitely leave an arena on top of the deck. That's why the deck runs 3. It's really nice. Smart. And now Jackson just has a ring, 2 cats, and some prayers.
I
He
don't
does get
know.
to
I
see
mean,
3 cards.
rings pretty good prayers.
Yeah. Oh, look, a prison. And I think that's a Flage. That would be his 4th prison. Debating on whether or not he's going to pay for some of this stuff. Which, I mean, if one of those cards is a Flage, I think I just let the cat come back. Yeah. For now. Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty decent cleanup of everything. I mean, even the Static Prison is so clutch here. Just gets rid of the.
It's so clean to deal with the Flage.
All right, match.
We got dueling rings. Jackson does kind of need a brick here in order for Tom to come back, but I mean, I don't think it's that bad. Tom just remembering to pay the energy for his Static Prison. That's a land. We're going to see 3 cards here. So if
Not
they're
a great
bangers,
start to looking at the barrel of 2 lands. I would have maybe thought about playing the Surveil land just to see that extra card because sometimes that could matter.
so
I
we
think in
have a
that particular
Flage.
case,
Yeah, it looks like a Flage, a Guide of Souls, and then another land.
yeah, then that's definitely what it is. I think
Yeah.
he drew the Flage first, so I don't know, maybe you're probably not bidding it because you want the in hand and then the dump Ben's Ragavan there.
Yeah, he would have drawn the Ragavan if that was the play you made. If one of the top cards was one of the ones he wanted to put in the bin, right? So is it just escape the Flage dome itself? Yeah. Pad the life total a little bit. Tom at 1 billion takes 1 life.
Very interesting to see the aggro decks with such high life totals.
There's a little bit of discussion. I was actually behind the camera. I'm the reason it says 2-0. You guys can blast me in the comments. Um, but I did have recollection of what had happened here. There was a little bit of discrepancy on life totals. We try and have our players now keep their own life totals, and then I'll adjust it in the booth, or whoever's in the booth adjust it, to try and keep things a little like.
Yeah, we can't afford a fancy life tracker, so sorry everybody. We do
Yeah.
it
I mean,
manually.
eventually we'll have something nice. Yeah, I don't think the one life is going to matter in this game. Johnny comes back. Imagine mainboard Wrath. Oh,
That might be too next level for the for the energy deck to have that main just in case.
yeah. There's. I don't think there's a real reason you'd want to do that, but it does look
You
like he's got a
really have to
static
hate the
prison.
mirror.
I think we start off with just static prisoning the One Ring, and maybe take a whole bunch of damage.
That seems worse. I mean, not that it seems worse, but it's like it's such a feels bad situation because I think Tom looks like he has land in static prison and health.
Jeggy, yeah,
I mean, certainly saw
Moose.
the less favorable side of one ring draws there. Because what you're taking away the static, you're using the static prison to take away the ring, and you're still looking down a full board plus flage.
I guess maybe the Flage is the right call, right? The problem is you don't have a lot of energy to work with.
No, I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong call. It's not great either way. It's a tough situation, and I don't know what gets you out of this situation. I mean,
All all I will say, and this is just a me thing, is that there's only so many iterations of what you can do with the cards you have. You have a Giganta and you have a Static Prison, 2 lands. Unless you're posturing for your opponent, I think I would try and make those plays a little bit faster. But that's also probably why I play sloppy and bad.
possible. I mean, time
Yeah,
isn't time can't be an enemy, not always a friend.
yeah.
So
So I mean, like if our line was just land Giganta Static Prison, I think I would have tried to come to that conclusion a little quicker. Maybe there's some sequencing you want to do based on what your opponent has untapped, but I think my opponent drawing 4 cards here is huge. But
yeah, I mean, like we've been
Flage,
talking about, I think you're looking at two. You're looking at the barrels of two different guns, but they're both
yeah.
guns just still pointed at you. So I don't know which one's you know
Tom
gonna
doing
end up
his
being
best
worse.
impersonation of Neo in the Matrix, trying to dodge every bullet possible.
Yeah, which at this point, unfortunately, doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
I mean, he can draw another One Ring as an out. I don't think he's dead this turn. Oh, this is my favorite play of this match.
Sounds like Tom might be regretting his decision.
Yeah, he could have static prison to static prison and like maybe like I'm not sure how many cards are in his graveyard, but he might have been able to like get back the Flage and kill the other Flage from Jackson. But I think Jackson has like a bunch of cards in his graveyard. This was a mistrigger because he played the Ajani and just killed one in response. He should have an energy and a life here if he remembers.
So I think he adjusted his energy for recognizing that he had an Ajani and
Mm-hmm.
the token. So I think
Yeah, he already
he
did that.
acknowledged the trigger, but yeah, because he was at one energy. So I think what happened there is that he just forgot to
Yeah,
add the token, which
that was my favorite line this entire FNM was, "Where's your red permanent if you want to do damage?" While some of his permanents might look red, the only red permanent in play is that Ajani. Yes. The counter on the cat on the upper right is 2 cats and a guide of souls. In case anybody was wondering. You don't need dice for all this BS. We got flying counters now.
Oh boy! Thank goodness we bought those starter bundles.
So, can Tom untap and do something worthy after a minor blunder? Tom's smart enough to recognize that he blocks the 1/1 so that the elk will live through a flayage if that's what Jackson has.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I
That's
100% would
smart.
have snapped off the block on the cat warrior, so Tom's a better mage than I.
Interesting that Jackson didn't, and I think I've had this conversation with someone before.
Plus the
I think
Ajani?
no, not plus the Johnny, because I mean you could make that. I think he plus or he's zero thinking he had a red permanent. So to be
Yeah,
fair, like that's
true.
just a misplay, right? But I've talked to multiple people playing energy who keep doing the whole draw with the ring on your opponent's end step, and I've said there's way less instants in your deck. So if anything, you'd rather make the call with more information,
Yeah,
like playing your
I'd rather have more
sorcery and
cards in
stuff.
hand. 100%. Like what cards I can play, what creatures I can play, and stuff like that.
Because I mean, how much damage are you possibly taking in a turn from your energy opponent
Hmm.
when you have a board? It's not like you can't block. I mean, there's only so much flage damage that you can be hit with in a turn.
Yeah. I also like this heads up play, knowing that you have a or no, he's just taking a land out of the deck, thinning the deck a little bit, trying to make sure you don't hit lands. I think this is kind of smart. Also, if he had another parlor, which he doesn't, but he could surveil first and then do some drawing. Looks like a Guide of Souls, Ragavan, and a Johnny.
Pretty pretty shaped up hand there, getting a little bit better.
Oh,
That you
Airbus
just
US.
yeah,
I just I
that was a loud one.
Yeah, sorry.
Felt that one.
Airbus US taking off with this flage hopefully this turn because you get to move some of those energy counters and fly.
Yeah, we're gonna see here. I kind of lost.
Oh no, he's just gonna buff. He's gonna wait a turn. Okay. Uh, for correction, the energy should be paid.
I guess we ran out of flying counters.
Yeah, I was actually sitting there breaking up the pieces on whatever those cards were, and just something to denote that it's flying. I think is fine, or that it's different. But yeah, I mean, there could have been with 3 mana. Let's see what he could have played on his turn, possibly, or not. Thanks, Jackson.
That was going to be a tough, tough to see, especially
Yeah.
drawing it off screen there. But we'll figure it
Ooh,
out.
he drew
Double
bombardment. I think there's
bombardment.
another flage.
That's a card you definitely want to see at this point in time.
And again, more lands.
Yeah, it looks like they're both starting to hit a little bit of. I mean, Tom hit a pocket earlier,
Yep.
which wasn't super, but certainly looks like Jackson must have heard me from the future and decided to draw in his main phase here. Get a little bit more information. All right, there's the one man army and Guide of Souls number 2.
Well, he's got two.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is
Yes.
where it's going to start getting just silly with all the energy and
Now, does he have a
insanely.
pride? A pride is what's going to make. Ooh, and he's got another one ring. And he can go one ring bombardment and then just machine gun down Tom's board. Ooh. It looks like he's going to go with a Raptor.
Raptor's a good call too. He might,
The only thing I don't like is if it hits an expressive iteration, you only get possibly one of the cards. Unless you can physically cast unless one of the cards you see from the expressive is a 2-drop.
statistically speaking, you're gonna see quite a few.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's certainly possible.
Oh look, a Ragavan. And I think everybody should notice this is game 1 and we're 20 no, we're like 26 minutes into this match.
I believe you, and I think the people at home probably believe you. But this has been a very grindy game one. But
Yeah. I mean
fortunately,
this is unfortunately what you have to slog through playing the Boros energy deck sometimes. It's not always just quick wins and then that's it. There's going to be board stalls, slogs, that kind of stuff. He can disperse. Jackson, we have tokens. I know you're just trying to be.
I mean, this is some gummed up board. I mean, this reminds me a lot of green white token standard from
Oh Jesus, please
Rise.
don't.
Really getting to be
Yeah,
that
that
way.
was that was a rough time, brother.
So, I mean, I
So
get it.
three.
Sometimes having more is less.
So 10. He goes to 4, and then dies to Goblin Bombardment.
Did he let the creature go to damage instead of sacking to the bombardment?
Yeah, Tom's creature shouldn't have died there. Um, but
Yeah, I guess I missed whether or not he communicated that he was sacrificing them to bombardment or.
I believe Jackson said I'm gonna sacrifice these to shoot you, and said he and then Tom went from 14
All
to
right. I
12.
mean, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, they got it correctly eventually. So
Unfortunately, I didn't bring up the sideboard guides for these guys because I kind of wanted just to let them play, and it was a very long game that I wanted to pay attention to. There were some things going on both sides, but for Jackson's sideboard, I'll run down the list. He's got 4 consigned to memory, 2 dampening sphere, 2 exercise. He has the Gigantha, 2 surgical extraction, 2 the One Ring, and 2 Thraben Charm. I think for this matchup, I think he's only bringing in 4 cards here. Maybe it's 6. It looks like 2 rings, 2 exercise, and 2 Thrabens.
yeah, the creatures on your opponent's side are gonna easily get big enough, but also I mean, all the modes are alive for exercise between hitting your rings, the static prisons,
Mm-hmm.
bombardments, and then just a creature that gets pumped up or Exile's Flage. Can't beat
Yeah,
that,
I
especially
think exercise on Flage is huge to be able to trade up on mana. It looks like Jackson's going with cutting some Ragavans and some number of Raptors, which is interesting.
I guess the Raptors make sense if you're bringing in this spot removal because it's got to be kind of well, not even
You don't.
spot removal per se, but these sideboard cards require like certain instances to be like in conditions to be better rather than worse. And because Amp Raptor is basically saying, "Hey, you got to cast this one. I flip it, or you're not casting it at all." There probably is
Oh,
some.
he cut 2 expressives instead. He cut 2 expressives and a
Yeah,
Raptor and 3 Ragavans. Um, yeah, because you don't want to like raw dog a raptor and then flip over a removal spell when your opponent doesn't have anything you can target. Because then you lose that on your 2-for-1 ability.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised about the iterations, but
Yeah,
there might be some experience there that just I'm not familiar enough with.
I
I mean,
think
I
he
think
just
that's the
wants
part
more
that
one
helps.
rings. Yeah,
Yeah, but I feel like the expressive kind of helps you get in, but it also helps you get into those cyborg cards that you want to see. Because I mean, I think you and I certainly know that a lot of times, especially in these tight matchups, these cyborg cards are your big difference makers that help you squeak out
yeah. I
these
think
little moments.
Jackson ran the data and the numbers and says 2 rings better than 2 expressives. I'm gonna trust him on that, but we'll
Fair
see
enough.
how this game goes. Ooh, Tom has a banger. 3 lands, 4 spells. One of them's Chained to the Rocks. He's got Guide into Raptor.
I like that curve out.
Let's see if the guide sticks around though. Jackson's got a discharge lined up. Or maybe a white removal spell. The 5th prison played against him so far.
Yeah, yeah, that's where you really are looking for those green forces, but it is what it is.
Do you jam this Raptor? Oh, he's going with the Johnny. Okay. In my personal experience, I tend to go second with my Raptors. I wait until my opponent has done something or put something on the board, whether it's a creature or something. Because if I flip from a Raptor removal spell, I want to be able to use it. So I think leading with a Johnny there is smart.
Yeah, that not having the guide to get that extra energy just gives you more chances for there to be more live spells that are hit.
Looks like discharge 1 drop. Yeah.
Not a bad one drop.
No, probably the best 1 drop. Delver of Secrets, better. Man down.
All and Amberlance. Um,
But not for me.
I mean, this is certainly, and for as much as I detest the energy decks in their entirety, I mean, certainly been a very back and forth of resources so far.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think this is what you want to see. I was having conversations this past weekend with some friends about how a lot of people in modern have been wanting like a low to the ground creature deck that like can kind of like like do all this other stuff. Like that's what they've been waiting for the format, and like we finally get it, and everybody wants us to ban it. So I mean, it does do a lot of broken stuff. It does feel like MH3 tribal, but when you ask for it and then they give it to you, you can't really be mad.
It's certainly a tough call.
100%.
I know what a lot of the people who are, not fans of energy are feeling. I do agree with some of the sentiment, but I mean, at least from a pure viewership standpoint, I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm looking to go for Jackson, putting him on having it again.
Ooh, and he does. Tom gets the token twice.
And he's gonna get the
Flip the
chance
One Ring.
to. Would have
Not as great, but that's
probably
okay.
liked to have surveilled there. You're not doing anything else with the mana, probably. Yeah, he has a
Well, I
change
mean,
of
he
rocks.
can play Change of the Rocks. I don't know. I probably would have preferred. I guess he played the Static Prison because he wanted to bump up his energy count as opposed to do the chain into the Raw Dog Raptor.
No, I mean I like the play. I
Yeah,
just would have liked the fetch in response to the trigger,
sure,
just
sure,
to
sure, sure.
surveil and just see what we had going on. Because I mean, listen, he hits a one ring right there. He's in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, and I don't think it matters if his opponent gets back a Johnny at that point. I don't think you're that worried. And you can still draw and then draw more C4 cards before you have to respond to the trigger. Maybe you get a Galv Blast or something. Ironically, missing from both of these sideboards is a certain 2-drop, Victor. What do you think about the non-use of Sun Cleanser in the format right now?
I think it stopped mattering a while ago for the mirrors,
And
just
like when like
because.
most of the control decks stop playing like Wrath Disguise?
Yeah, you're seeing less wraths, you're seeing more pyroclasms,
Yeah.
which ironically Sun Cleanser gets around anyway. But I think that the energy decks have kind of just said, listen, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna use the energy strictly to make our creatures bigger, and we're just gonna put you on. If you have it, you have it. But I even think now it's like between Static Prison being the more premier removal spell, and that was a very nice draw from Tom to hit that off the top there.
Oh, 100%.
Certainly what you want to see.
I also like him not getting greedy with the damage in order to keep the Ajani out off the battlefield.
Oof.
Yeah. I almost want him to hit the Raptor so he can keep Guide off longer. Is that a Raptor in his hand?
Looks
Okay,
to
I
be
guess he's going
so.
to get some number.
Oof.
Oh, hate to see it.
I mean, not having to draw 3 lands is going to be pretty decent.
That's very good. I do agree. And I mean, he's got energy to keep the Guide of Souls out of play for a little while. This Flage coming back, not really helping him too much. Can he draw an answer? Then we got an Elk coming back next turn.
With iteration, I guess you're just looking for ring at this point. Land and I know he has the land, so I guess he could just put
I
something
think it's
else.
2 lands bombardment. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna pack it up.
not the card you wanted.
No, not the card you wanted. 12 minutes for a final game. Ooh, I guess there was some. Yeah, there was some mulliganing going on.
See if Tom has the turn one removal.
Ooh, who's
Does.
got the prison now, baby? They should both be at 18, by the way, but I'm getting there.
You figure it out eventually, and that's why we like you.
Ooh. Oh,
Oh boy! Wow.
giving him the boots, medium style. Uh,
I'd like one of
Casual
these fake.
5 power 2 mana.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He gonna pay.
This is gonna be a very interesting
Um,
follow up from Tom.
Something big.
See if he could do the same thing.
Close enough.
I mean, all right, slightly worse, but all right, it's there.
Okay, I mean he's got land, bombardment, and the One Ring, so maybe he can just turn that into winning the game. Jackson has 2 more lands.
You
Sorry,
squeeze
me.
through
I was
that.
just keeping my putting my judge skills to good use. Jackson, it looks like he's got 2 Thraben charms and a land and a red spell. I can't see what the red spell is. I think it's
Go
possible like a
three.
rat.
Could go Thraben Charm, kill your cat, flip, bolt the guide. Oh, okay. Well, he's gonna get the free damage. Okay, yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Get the free damage in, kill the cat. Oh, look at me go! That is on my bingo sheet.
Yep.
You're killing the guy to souls, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
100%. It's the only
Yeah.
card that's going to keep energy going. So I was wrong the first time. Haha. That guide is 100%
Man,
dead.
a lot of spaghetti falling around with
Yeah.
this energy, but I guess we'll eventually get it figured out.
The best part here is like playing the bombard. I think he's got bombardment and he's got a discharge, which is huge because he can just discharge the Ajani, and then he's got to deal with he can like first strike down the cat and then after damage kill the raptor and then the board's clear. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think you're not. Well, okay, so
So Ajani would be dead from the discharge, right?
yeah,
And then if Jackson, and then you just play the bombardment and pass, and then see what Jackson does. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, okay.
I think because Tom has the ring, he's trying to play for the. That I find interesting.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure. I think this was Tom's first time playing the deck. I believe.
Okay.
I don't think he values Thraben Charm as highly as I do. I think that's one of the better cards in the matchup to deal with like opposing prisons, uh, Goblin Bombardment, um, Flage,
Flage, if you
any of this
yard.
stuff, any kind of like problem creature. But I think there's a specific card he's trying. I think he wants to hit his own Flage here, and then start turning the corner. So if that's his game plan, I think that's fine. Ooh, Raptor into prison. He can prison a prison.
Prison to prison. I think I like that. I don't think you need. I don't think you really care about the Raptor at the moment. All
Mm.
right. I guess
I guess
Jackson
he's
does
just
care.
getting the blockers out of the way. That's fair.
That's true. Time is starting to go down. You're probably not trying to. You're not going to get too many more turns. Kind of like the fourth
Yeah,
quarter of a football game. How many possessions are you going to have left?
that's true. I don't know if he's paid for the prison yet. I th- I'm not sure, and I don't want to wind the tape back because I don't want to screw our timing up. But there it is.
All right,
Okay.
there you go. Figures it out. Luckily, not the end of the world to have the trigger called on you when you have energy still available. Certainly feels bad when your opponent realizes after you've spent your energy on something else.
I would also draw the card here. Ooh, Sunshine Links would be awesome.
That would be
Unfortunately for Jackson, he drew a land. So he's got Thraben Charm fetch land after playing the Flooded Strand here. Looks like that's a Sacred Foundry. Yeah. Again, these matchups definitely come down to who gets their card advantage engine online first. Doesn't matter how many creatures in play, doesn't matter your life total. You gotta get there.
well. Tom being at 11 does present itself with a little bit of a problem. He does need to get some way to gain life,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on the draws, it could be a little awkward, especially that first turn.
Jackson was, I think, looking to surveil a Flage there so he could just pop it into play.
Yeah, but do you pop into play on the turn when he has protection?
I think yeah, because that you have lethal damage staring him down.
Oh, that is also true. That's why we talk about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. So we gotta pay for this prison before we do anything else, Tom. Unless we're putting the trigger on the stack.
That's
This is a
ostensibly
common thing that gets missed because of the timing of the trigger, where you're like in your main phase again. But
yeah. And for our
but
friends
if
at
you're
home,
yeah, go ahead.
how that would get played out is once it's realized that the trigger's been missed, the judge will ask your opponent if you'd like to put it on the stack or resolve it immediately. The difference is, and for people that are confused by that, is if if Jackson gives Tom the ability to put it on the stack, he can respond to it. Say he had no energy, he could then cast like a galvanic discharge or something like that. If Jackson tells the judge he'd like it to resolve immediately, it means there are no other actions made, and then the costs have to be paid. Which,
That's
if
true.
Tom
And
had no energy, that would mean it would immediately get sacrificed.
yes. Also, at higher REL, if you're playing in an RCQ, missing those gets you a GRV, 100%. Because it's a trigger you shouldn't be missing. It is a detrimental trigger. Uh-oh. Pesquettios.
All right, going to come down to a
This
crucial
is
couple of draws.
Yeah, these are the closing turns of the game here. I think Jackson is probably going to be our turn 0, if not turn 1. Or yeah, Jackson or Tom are going to be turn 0 or 1 with the closing minutes winding down.
Jackson in a similar situation that Tom was in on the flip side, game one. Do you
Yeah,
go after the board, or do you go after the thing that's going to bury you?
I think he's going after the thing that buries him.
Yep, he's going to choose the ring. It's the elk to hand.
Yeah, buys the moose. He's got 2 first strikers and another blocker.
Oh yeah, and now the no energy.
Hmm.
See, is Tom going to go for the flipping of? Nope, he's going to just.
Ooh. Oh, just had everything. And he
Quite a bit
passes with
there.
enough time for Jackson to be our turn 0. Yeah. 2, make a 6. 1, make a 1 copy. Make a 1, make a 3.
I'm sure there's like some Eldrazi math in there. I think whoever designed Ocelot Pride plays Eldrazi. Or Tron
Most
at
likely.
least.
Yeah.
101 makes 3.
Just to
Jackson with the
save
one
the
ring
board size.
for the fog.
If he's got the fog. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the fog.
The thing that matters most is, can Tom draw bombardment? Because if he does, it is GG, ladies and gentlemen. He knows it too. Ooh, we just got wide boards left and right.
This is really going to come down to a galvanic or bust kind of. Or I'm sorry, not
Okay.
galvanic. Goblin bombardment or bust situation.
Yeah, it should be a. I think we're gonna put it in the center to note what
Yeah,
time
because
it
the board
is.
isn't already clogged up enough. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Well, for the viewer at home, as if we weren't going to talk about it. We have all the information. Sounds like a great idea, Tom. I'm there with you.
Lance?
No, but he's got a
Or
raptor.
oh,
He's got a
Raptor. That could be
raptor with some amount of energy.
helpful there. As
Raptor
we
could be
begin to
anything.
get
It could be a boat
yeah, or Ferrari. I mean, whatever you want it to be.
or a trebuchet.
It could, and more likely or more hopefully, it does want to be a trebuchet of death.
What's the one from the Monty Python catapult?
Yeah, catapult.
Should look those up on TCG Player right about now. Oh, that's genius, because if he flips another. Oh, he's not. He's just gonna get the. He's gonna get the fatty boom boom. Fatty boom boom kills a Johnny.
Yeah, you got to kill the Ajani. You don't want that to flip or have any opportunity to do so.
Oh my god, he gains life. He's gonna gain 3 life and then gain 6 more. Don't
We're
send.
going in there.
No, I think you just attack with the cat. All of the kitties. Wait, does he? Hold on. He's thinking. He's thinking. Does he remember the protection?
He remembers.
He did remember.
At least somebody did, because I forgot. But
Yeah, I did too. A lot has happened since then.
I mean, listen, it's not illegal to attack into into somebody with
Yeah.
protection.
These 3 cards better be bangers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see what he could possibly do to draw out.
I see Ocelot Pride, Discharge, and oh no, I think that's a bombardment. Ocelot Pride, bombardment, and Raptor. I just don't think that that's enough.
So what? Maybe a Johnny into, or I'm sorry, Raptor into hopefully a Johnny play Pride.
Yeah.
I guess the number of energy at
I'm
this
at a
point is,
billion life and a billion energy.
yeah,
Go to 3. Flip a 1 ring. Ooh, no.
it's a guide.
Goes to 2. I don't think we tap all of our red mana. Or no, we're out of cards to play. I guess that's fine.
At that point, information is known. You're not exactly posturing for anything.
Yeah, that's true. I do like Jackson holding priority and possibly machine gunning down these 2 Ocelot Prides so Tom's board doesn't get bigger, but doing so, what do we have? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 26 plus 3 is 29 damage from Tom. And I don't think Jackson can soak all that up.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see what the, because what, you either have to sacrifice almost your entire board to a,
I don't think you try and kill the Flage. I think you just like whatever's gonna get hit by the Flage target, you sacrifice to ping off his board. And just pray to God Tom doesn't draw bombardment. Should be at 10 energy. Yep. Ooh,
static
baby.
prison.
Static presence huge. 1, 2, 3.
Another
Another static.
static. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, the game one revenge.
You could have it all.
Hey,
This time,
to be
this time,
fair,
Tom. This time, Tom drew it all up. I think you
yeah,
just like. I think you just present static prison and point it at the bombardment and ask Jackson if he'd like to concede the game. Then,
yeah. I think I'm certainly shooting this off now. Make your opponent think. It's a
or you
lot
could
of
style.
decisions.
You could style on him and play one of the Raptors first.
No, don't be cute. You never know. That could just present a problem for you.
True.
Actually, ironically, and we've kind of forgot that there's an Ajani on Tom's side. So even if you want to shoot down the cats, you do it at a very, very detrimental cost of getting
Yeah,
blasted
of just
for.
dying.
Oh yeah, you just die either way. Actually,
Yeah, I
either
think
way,
you
you'll
have.
just
I
do.
think you have to shoot the Ajani and then shoot the cats, which is 4 of your things. So those 2 little cats there. Yep, I like that. and then like the
It's
other
it,
the other two
basically no
cats.
matter which way you draw it up, it's just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he doesn't have enough blockers left. He's just dead.
because if you take away, if you trade two for two ocelots just to stop that, you still have the Guide of Souls, which is gonna jump certainly something.
I mean, the God of Souls is going to jump the Flage, so you're going to take 12 just from that. I mean, I don't want. I see the writing on the wall. I think Jax is going to take this L, but I do like the innovation of his deck. I like the expressive iteration package against some of the more grindier decks, like the blue black Murktide stuff. I'm not sure how much losing Blood Moon and that package hurts you. It might not, but you are only on 22 lands as opposed to the 23. Oh no, he's not running 23. Huh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so he cut a Flage to one Flage, two Blood Moons, and a One Ring to fit the expressives. Okay. I do like what Jax is trying to do here.
Yeah, I'm certainly about it.
You have lethal in the air, Tom. Just go to combat.
Oh yeah, two Guide of Souls. It just has to jump two things. Oh boy,
Oh,
alrighty.
still had all these. Got it. We're just taking all the actions because time's run out, and we want to see what the deck does.
It's an illusion at this point.
Yeah. uh, an embarrassment of riches for Tom. Just absolutely everything. Hit him in the face, Tom. There we go.
I believe Tom missed the two.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, just
All the
alright.
cards in my hand. Let me just show you. I drew everything.
Maybe remember half my energy. I think
Yeah,
unfortunately because there was so much going on, I think Tom forgot the two life and the two energy from the Guide of Souls. Not that it
that's
really
fine.
matters. You have more than
None of
enough
it. None
mana
of it
here.
matters. All he has to do is jump something. I think the Flage by itself is lethal if you just put all the counters on it.
Yeah, plus the ring. The Flage by itself would be 13 if you were to do it by itself. It only has two guides, so
Jackson has confirmed he is indeed super dead. But hey, man, fun little match there. As always, we appreciate your support. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. Check out our store. I've been Sparky. Say goodbye, Victor.
goodbye, Victor.